I always like to record them because I know my time doesn't always match up with your time, and you can always have these to go back and review. Well, thank you for joining me today. I'm going to share, oh, no, cancel, not stop. I'm going to share my screen real quick and get us started. Well, like I said, thank you for coming today. My name is Karen Leonard. This is our September monthly CompSci meeting. Hopefully you will find some information useful. Each month I try to take on a different topic or share different information with you. And this month we're talking about course descriptions and how they relate to course codes, how they relate to standards, and give you an opportunity to do some sharing about maybe some of the curriculum you're using, things that you found successful, and then I have some opportunities and resources to share with you as well. So one thing I like to do is I put a link, a bit.ly link to the slide deck in every corner of the slide. That way right now you're like, I don't think I'm going to need this, but maybe at some point in time you will be able to access it. Most of you know by now that bit.lys are case sensitive. So the CS is capitalized, and after the S, that is a 009-721. So again, my name is Karen Leonard. I am the Director of Computer Science and Education Technology at the Oklahoma State Department of Education. You are free to email me at any time with any questions you have. This is also on the last slide in the slide deck. And like I said, if you've got a bit.ly, you can just directly link to it or click. And today I have, oh, thank you, Sharon, for putting that in there. I really appreciate that. That helps. I always kind of like to take the pulse and see how you're all doing when we start. So today I would like, we had this discussion in my office last week. What is something you like that most people find strange? And if you could just kind of share that in the chat box, and I can tell you that one of my things that I really like that many people find as strange is my mom always made Bisquick biscuits, and then we would just douse them with syrup. Or I would crumble graham crackers in a bowl and just sit there and drink them and eat them with milk. So those were two things that I really found that most people didn't have in common with me. I found that my neighbor really likes tarantulas. We found one of those this weekend in our neighborhood. I said, if somebody would have told me 3 years ago that tarantulas were native to Oklahoma, I might not have moved here, but it was really interesting to see one. So again, if any of you would like to share something that you like that most people find strange, I'm always curious. Okay, Shelby, actually, we had this discussion, getting in a hot car. I'm a person that has Raynaud's. I get cold really easily, and there's nothing better than just getting in the hot car. Chocolate gravy and biscuits. I don't think I've ever had that one. And Chris, spicy Indian food. I am a person, I love spicy food, but I'm really not into Indian. I think maybe I just need to give it a try. Melissa, I have never ever heard of French fries and honey. That's pretty cool. And I will have to definitely look up a recipe for chocolate gravy and biscuits because my husband is a chocolate fiend. So thank you for sharing. You made my afternoon. So what we're going to do today, I would love to have some feedback from you because many of you are the ones in the classroom or in the administrative offices. And when people come and talk to you about computer science and what courses you offer, we have not really had any course descriptions. So we're going to talk about some of those, and I'm going to share some, and I'd love some thoughts on what's missing, what shouldn't be there. Like I said, we're going to share some curriculum ideas. I'll have an open forum for people, question and answers, and I'll share some resources. So one thing I do want to share, I know some of you may be new to computer science. Obviously, we are having a huge push in our state right now. Recent legislation said that by the 24-25 school year, every school in Oklahoma will have to offer computer science. That means every high school will have to offer at least one class, and every elementary and middle school will have to have some integration or standalone course that meets our Oklahoma academic standards for computer science. So with all of that going on, there's also a lot of discussion. Some schools are like, oh, we're already teaching computer science. We're teaching word processing or something. So we really want to make sure that there is an understanding of what computer science is. So we've recently created a computer science overview brief. You may find that this is something that you want to share with your district administration, your school administration, your co-teachers, your parents. It gives a little overview on what we have going on here in Oklahoma, what computer science is and what computer science is not. This document is actually linked within the slide deck, so you can just click on that. And I think that this is really important right here. If nothing else in that entire document, what computer science is, it's teaching students to use computers to create, not just to consume. It involves problem solving, critical thinking. We know here in Oklahoma, there are so many jobs that are not filled at the moment because we don't have the skilled people with computer science skills. There's a lot that we can do to encourage job growth in our state, and computer science can help. And like I said, this is often what we see schools identifying with when they're saying they're teaching computer science. It's more than just teaching students to use a mouse and to type. It doesn't necessarily really include our Microsoft Word or Google tools. It's not just general computer literacy, although that is part of our standards. It's definitely not playing video games. It could be creating video games and testing them and refining them. And it's more than learning how to just build or repair a computer. Just because someone can troubleshoot doesn't mean that they're learning computer science. I know I'm kind of speaking to all of you, but sometimes you need some guidance on how you can help define this course with others. So thank you for that. And moving on. So we have many course codes in our state. And right now we have absolutely no description as what is being taught in each of those courses. And that's a big concern because someone might be signed up for Computer Science 1 in one city, and someone else is signed up for the exact same course in another city, and they're not learning any of the same content. So one of my goals has been to create course code descriptions. And I do have, I'd love if you could just really quick in the chat kind of share, it could be ES for elementary school, MS for middle school, AP if you're teaching AP courses, or just HS for high school, so I can kind of know which direction we're going with this. But right now, I have gone through what lots of districts are using as their course descriptions. I've reached out to teachers in other states and just other state course code descriptions. Last month, I was at a code.org meeting, and we sat down as a group of state supervisors and worked to create some course code descriptions, definitely for K through 8, because although many of our schools in Oklahoma teach high school and they've got course descriptions for that, our K-8 is often a new frontier for us. So we have a little bit of everything, which is great. So here's something that I would like to have your help with. You're going to see, and I will put this link in the chat box in just a second, I have created a Google Jamboard. And what this Google Jamboard does is it has 11 frames. Each frame has a course code, the course title, a proposed description of what is being taught in that course, and the related academic course code or standards that would match. I have had lots of experience with K-8 computer science, but I have to tell you, 9-12 is not my specialty. So what I would love for you to do is scroll through. I started off with our high school courses, and then I did move on to our AP and PK through 8. If you could take the time to read some of those descriptions, just pick 2 or 3. And I'm sure many of you have used Google Jamboard by now, but if you could just add a sticky note, just some ideas, what is missing in a particular description or what needs edited or changed. There's still a lot of discussion even on what courses are related to our 9-12 level 1 or level 2 computer science standards. So what I'm going to do is, like I said, I am going to share a link to this specific Jamboard. And I'm just going to set a timer for about 7 minutes. I don't want you to have, tons of time. This is something that you may want to take greater time and look at on your own. I'm going to leave this Jamboard editable for the next week or so, but I'd really like some of you that are overseeing programs or teaching the programs to provide some of your thoughts. So again, what's missing or what needs edited or changed? Please feel free to unmute during this time or send a message in the chat box. And I am setting a timer now. A couple things while you're reading through, there are some things that I can and cannot include in our descriptions. I am unable to tell how the course must be taught, and I am unable to connect them to any other standards. I had someone say, oh my goodness, the cybersecurity class, cyber.org has standards, but I am unable to connect them to anything like that. So I can't say you have to use this programming language or you have to use robots. So we have to be somewhat general, and I know that's very frustrating to some people. We have about 2 minutes left. Again, I'm not trying to rush you. I'm just trying to make sure we're using your time in the best way possible. Well, I'm kind of reading through these. I appreciate the thoughts that you have offered. Um, I'm like I said, this will be open and live. And if you would like to take it back, if there's other people in your district or other teachers at your school that you think would be good for gathering information, Jeannie, there is an advanced programming course where students can get math credit. I didn't add that because I was kind of making sure that that was, there's that crossover between computer science and math. So I was kind of letting that fall under the math umbrella. And it does get really confusing because while we're looking at all of these course descriptions at one time, we have to think that some of our schools are only offering one of these courses. So if someone is taking computer science 1 at high school A, and that's all that they're taking, some of that overlap is justified. But then again, like I said, if we can get it more clarified and granular, I think that that would help not only other teachers, but you yourself as you're going in and trying to determine what works. Again, I really appreciate the comments. Is there a link on the DOE page? I could only find the general CS standards. That's a great question. I'm assuming you're talking about the US DOE, and I haven't looked there, but I'm trying to just find Oklahoma DOE. We do not have any of the course codes defined on there yet. That's part of the reason we're kind of going through and getting that information. So I appreciate all of your thoughts. And like I said, if you continue to kind of share ideas, that would be absolutely great. So I know many times, obviously at this time of the year, we have a lot of teachers that are new to computer science. And sometimes they're the isolated people. They're the only people in their district, possibly. And they don't have a lot of collaboration. And they're trying to figure out what in the world, what kind of content could they use or curriculum could they use? So I just kind of wanted to allow you, maybe some of our experienced computer science teachers, to share a little bit about what suggestions you have for others. What are you using? If you're a newer computer science teacher, what are you still looking for? And this is the time when I really cannot provide any input because my role does not allow me to recommend or comment or suggest any curriculums. Again, I just kind of wanted you a chance to give you a chance to share your successes. Is there anything, anyone, something you found that is just great or supplements that you're using in addition to course content or curriculum? And please unmute. Jeannie, you assume the data can be pulled at the state level. Actually, yes, we do. That is actually part of our public records. And we can see what course codes are being used, but it's completely up to the district to determine what course codes they are taking. So again, it goes back to the local control, but I could tell you that there are not as many schools teaching advanced programming as there are computer science 1. Web design has a few, cybersecurity has a few, but that is public record and anyone can go in there and find out what other schools are teaching what, so that maybe there's some collaboration between teachers there as well. Well, you're making this really easy. This is so intimidating to just sit here and talk to myself. If there's anything that you could have.
I'll say something just for fun.
Yay!
My name's Sherry, and I am Sharon, but I'm Sherry. But I am just in my first year teaching computer science, and I'm using code.org, and I'm really excited about it. I went to they have a training, and we did it's the CS Discoveries is for middle school or high school, and we all at my school, some of us went to the training this summer, and I'm really excited about it, but we only just barely started. But it was like we got to, in the training, we did some of the lessons as students, and I don't know, it just felt like, okay, this is going to work. This is really cool. So, I mean, I don't have experience with it yet, other than today I did the first lesson, which was an offline lesson, and it was fun. But I just thought I'd share.
That's awesome to hear. It is nice when we're able to find resources that do not have the associated costs and that provide some of the training.
And kudos to, is it Tulsa STEM? There's a organization that I think they have co-hosted the training with the OPRS, the resource, Oklahoma Public School Resource.
The Tulsa Regional STEM Alliance and
I'm all this. It's my second year teaching and my first year doing computer science. Okay, so they, they gave us a scholarship to the training, and then I was surprised by all these tons of boxes that came in the mail to me, and I guess I didn't realize what I was putting my name in, but afterwards they were like, tell how many students you have, and they would send us some supplies. They sent us like every supply you could possibly need except the roll of pennies, like it was like such a blessing. So we not only did I not have to go run and buy all this stuff, but so that was pretty awesome. So shout out to those Tulsa people. Let me look them up and tell you who they are later.
Tulsa Regional STEM Alliance. They are an amazing organization, as is the Oklahoma Public School Resource Center, OPSRC.
Yes.
So if someone is newer to computer science, we have some sharing ideas of place you may want to turn.
Hi, Karen. It's Melissa.
Hi, Melissa.
How are you today?
Very well.
I am in Sharon's boat. This is my 5th year to teach computer programming, but I am actually on the committee to do the pilot for the code.org CSA program. So they are piloting the new AP CSA, and my kids and I are going through this together, and they're like, what does this mean? I'm like, I don't know. Let me find out. Because I am the only one in the district doing it. And so it is interesting. But like Sharon, I did the code.org for principals for years, and it's an awesome program. So I'm hoping, and from what I'm seeing so far, the one for CSA is going to be just as cool. And the kids seem to really understand it.
That's exciting. And I know, so like you said, this is a pilot year for that. This is their new program. And I believe that they will be sharing that curriculum next year as, something that anyone can use. Some other things that are going on curriculum wise is we're in the process of the state textbook committee is reviewing curriculum, and we actually have content area experts doing that this year. And we're in the process of that. We have our first actual review meeting tomorrow, and we're reviewing curriculum for computer science and education technology. And so when we get through with the entire process in November, we will be able to share rubrics that are being used and created or filled out by the content review experts that hopefully will be able to help you and your districts decide if you want to purchase curriculum next year. There will be very detailed rubrics that can help you guide and make selections. And if they're deemed tier 1 or tier 2 curriculum material, you will be able to use state funding to fund your purchases. So that's something next year that you may have some other options as well. And Chris has shared that he is with CompuScholar, and he shared a link. So if you're looking for some other resources, that might be another place for you to go. Some other things that you may find helpful. I know it looks like the most of you are high school, middle school. We will be having our regional professional development workshops. I think my first one is September 26th. Maybe it's the last Thursday in September. I know that I will be traveling to Durant, Alva, Chickasha, Tulsa, and offering a workshop here in OKC. These will be face-to-face sessions. They will be 3 hours long, so from 9 to 12 on one morning. You are able to go in and sign up. My computer science session will be geared toward K-8 and integration. Again, it kind of ties back to that legislation. What can we do to get some of our K-8 teachers familiar with our Oklahoma academic standards for computer science, and seeing how that those can have some of the tie-ins with other courses. So if you have any friends that might be interested in computer science at the K-8 level, you might want to direct them there. You can go and see the link. You can sign up to attend. I will also be doing one virtual session, and that is on a Thursday night. I do believe, I can't remember right off the top of my head. I'm really sorry. Maybe it's a Tuesday, September 30th, I believe. And that will be only an hour-and-a-half session. So if you are looking for some training there, that could be an option. We also, if you know any math teachers, or you would like to kind of tie in with a math teacher, I know this says the deadline to apply was September 2nd. I'm kind of keeping it open one more week, but we are having a OSDE Bootstrap Algebra Fall 2021 cohort. What it is using free Bootstrap curriculum. We've been working with them for several years now. They have created Oklahoma specific curriculum that ties into our academic standards for both pre-algebra, algebra, and computer science. So we will be having free training October 1st in late afternoon, early evening, which is a Friday, and then all day Saturday. Here in Oklahoma City, if you live, I believe it's 65 miles away from Oklahoma City, we will even provide you with a hotel room on Friday, October 1st. And then in addition to that day-and-a-half face-to-face training, our cohort will have additional virtual trainings on October 16th, November 13th, and December 11th. If you want more information, you can scan that QR code. And they're an amazing group of people, the trainers that come from Bootstrap. And, this is something that even if you've not had any coding experience, they have their own software called Pirate. And it is great because some of the other coding programs tell you that you have an error. Their programming software actually shows you specifically where it is and helps guide students so that they're able to make some of those, fix some of those bugs. Also, since we have some people that are rather new to computer science, I just want to make sure that you're aware of another organization, the Computer Science Teachers Association of Oklahoma. It is a free organization. We meet monthly. They're virtual meetings, and each session or meeting has professional learning time, sharing time. I attended the one last week. We just had our September one. And I don't know if you're a high school teacher and if you have any students that might be interested in careers with computer science. There is a free Amazon Fulfillment Center tour. I just took that this morning. Jeff Bezos may not have been my favorite person before, but let me tell you, the organization of that entire structure, that fulfillment center, takes you from order to delivery and talks about the whole robotic process and how everything is automated. It could be a great hook for you to get some of your students interested in that. I know that that was something that I learned about at our last meeting, and the virtual fulfillment center tour is free. And I will see if I can get the link for that and share that again with you. But our CSTA meetings are every month, the first Tuesday of each month from 5 to 6 p.m. And it's a great way, again, just to connect with some other people. There is also the National CSTA organization, which is also free to join. And if you are a member of that, they have some great resources that are filterable by grade band, by resource type, by goal. And I just wanted to share some of that information. It could be another good place for some extra lesson ideas, resources, and of course, it's all free. We love free things. Quality free things, of course. I'm going to come back to that in just a second, to questions. My October meeting, I think, is tentatively scheduled to be talking about using block-based coding, when and why. There's a big discussion, especially at middle school, high school. Where should block-based coding end? What's the purpose of it? Just like to hear some discussion on that. And some other things. Like I said, I have access to the slide deck, but future meetings, like I said, they tend to run from 30 minutes to an hour. I try to keep them short because I know you've got 8 billion other things to do, but I just want to make sure I'm able to share ideas and information with you the first Tuesday of each month. Some other things. Tech Tool Tuesdays is something that I did last summer, so almost a year and a half ago now. And these are short trainings that have both video and slide deck related to them. Some of them you may not find useful for computer science, but I'm sure that either the training that was done on Flipgrid, which is a great way to get student feedback, immediate student feedback, quick student feedback, video, or screencasting. We know that as we transition, unfortunately, in and out of schools due to quarantining, you may need to make some short videos. And if you've never used Screencastify, it is a free tool, very easy to use. And I can take you step by step through how to use that in some ways that you might want to use that. If you are not already a part of the monthly computer science newsletter, one just went out last week. You're able to subscribe here. I know that this month we were talking about the PAMST, Presidential Academic Awards for Excellence in Math and Science Teaching, which also does include technology and computer science. We would love to have some of our Oklahoma teachers apply. We Actually, it's very fun to sit and watch, and I've been part of the review process lately. 2 of the past winners are actually now employees at the Oklahoma State Department of Education. So anyone can nominate a teacher for that. There's information there. I also have a list of all the past newsletters on the computer science website for the State Department of Education. Some other things that you may find useful. Again, these are not just computer science. These are general for anything. We know we have a lot of our emergency certified teachers that are coming in. If your district is using Google Meet, there are tutorials and databases, database of tutorials there, all kinds of tools. You will find that these are sortable by tool, by user. I even have some student and parent tools, level of beginner or user, and some of the topics that are there. In addition, there's also a resource database. These are both housed on the State Department of Education website, actually on the EdTech. Again, the images are hyperlinked, as are the resources here, manipulatives, templates, graphic organizers, ideas for formative assessment, SEL check-ins. You guys have so much going on, and I'm just trying to feed you resources that can make hopefully your life a little easier. And that's all I have for there, but I did want to provide you a chance. Are there any other questions or anything you want to share? It's open mic time. My dog's going to start sharing soon, though. Okay. Well, I'm going to hang out here. I, again, have placed a link to the slide deck in the chat. Thank you for coming. I hope that you've at least found something from today that you can find useful. Again, if you have a chance and want to go back and revisit some of those course code descriptions, I would love to have your feedback. Thank you for attending. And I'm going to stop the recording and stop the screen share. And I'm here if you need anything. And if not, have a